There's a sacred law in the universe that many people overlook. You do not touch what has been divinely chosen. Chosen ones are not just ordinary individuals walking among us. They are spiritual vessels, carriers of divine assignments, and warriors of light sent here to break generational chains, heal souls, and awaken the lost. When someone messes with a chosen one, they're not just attacking a person, they're disrupting a divine plan. And the universe doesn't let that slide. Every action against a chosen one triggers a spiritual ripple effect. There are consequences, both seen and unseen, that come with mistreating, betraying, or trying to destroy them. This message may have reached you right on time. If you've ever felt misunderstood, betrayed, or attacked for no reason, this may be the confirmation you've been waiting for. Or maybe you've been sensing karmic justice unfold around you without understanding why. If this message resonates with you, don't scroll without subscribing. It helps spread divine truth to those who need it most. And if this found you at the exact moment you needed a sign, type 1111 in the comments as a symbol of alignment and divine blessing. 1. Their peace becomes your chaos. When you disturb a chosen one's peace, it doesn't just unsettle them, it disturbs the spiritual harmony surrounding your own life. You may think you're simply pushing boundaries, testing limits, or asserting control, but what you're actually doing is shaking the foundation of a soul that's deeply connected to divine stillness. Chosen ones carry within them an unusual calm. It's not surface-level peace, it's rooted in divine alignment, spiritual discipline, and unseen battles they've already overcome. Their peace is hard-earned. It is the result of countless hours of reflection, suffering transformed into strength, and inner work that most people never attempt. So when you come into their life with chaotic intentions, be it through manipulation, jealousy, deceit, or just unhealed wounds of your own, you enter a space protected by higher realms. Your interference is not treated lightly. The universe notices when someone tries to disrupt a divine vessel. What follows is not revenge but realignment. The moment you stir the waters of a soul walking in divine purpose, you begin to see restlessness emerge in your own life. Your mind races, your heart feels heavy, sleep becomes elusive, and things that once brought joy now feel empty. You're not being punished, you're simply receiving what you gave. That serenity you tried to violate starts slipping further away from your grasp. You begin living in confusion, indecision, and exhaustion, without fully understanding why. You shook a divine soul, and in response the universe begins to shake you. 2. Their tears water your karma. Tears from a chosen one are not ordinary, they are sacred offerings. They do not weep for attention, manipulation, or pity. When a chosen one cries, it is the language of a deeply spiritual soul expressing a wound so intense that it pierces through their divine strength. You may think you've simply hurt someone, but in the unseen realm, you've triggered something far more powerful. Every tear they shed becomes a seed in the soil of divine justice. Those drops are collected by the universe, not ignored. You didn't just cause pain, you authored a lesson that you'll be forced to experience yourself in ways you won't anticipate. You'll start noticing unexplained patterns of misfortune. You'll try to apply logic, work harder, and even pray your way out of it, but nothing seems to shift. It's not because you're cursed, it's because you violated a divine contract by causing suffering to a soul who was never sent to harm you. Their tears activate karmic cycles. The job that was once secure starts to feel shaky. The relationship you thought was solid begins to feel distant. Financial blessings dry up. Peace becomes a stranger. You'll scroll through old conversations or photos, wondering where things went wrong, and the universe will gently or harshly remind you. It was when you brought pain to a soul whose light was meant to bless you. These tears aren't forgotten, they are remembered in the spiritual ledger, and they return, not to break you, but to teach you the true weight of sacred sorrow. 3. Divine favor will be pulled from your life. There are certain blessings you walk in without even realizing it. Doors that open with ease, opportunities that seem perfectly timed, people who offer help without asking, and a peace that follows you like a shadow. What you may not understand is that many of those blessings are not solely earned by merit. They are granted by alignment with divine order. When you hurt a chosen one, especially someone sent into your life to bless, elevate, or guide you, you shift that alignment. The universe begins to retract what once flowed freely. It's not immediate, it's subtle. First, it looks like delays. Then it becomes resistance. Eventually, it turns into complete disconnection from favor. You'll notice that the relationships that once flowed easily are now filled with tension. You'll feel out of sync, unable to explain why things aren't clicking. That's because hurting a chosen one comes at a high spiritual cost. Their light not only illuminated their own path but also illuminated yours. When you tried to dim their light, through betrayal, dishonor, or manipulation, you unknowingly brought shadows into your own world. You'll start missing deadlines, losing support, and experiencing closed doors you thought were guaranteed. The divine realm doesn't play when it comes to sacred souls. What you thought was coincidence is divine correction. The favor you once walked in becomes a memory, and you'll realize too late that the chosen one you mistreated was the key to the very blessings you're now begging for. 4. You'll attract what you did to them. What you give to the world, especially to those who are divinely aligned, always finds its way back to you. It may not happen in the same season, through the same person, or in the same form, but it always returns. When you betray a chosen one, gossip about them, manipulate their emotions, or walk away from them during their lowest moments, you are not just hurting a person. You are sowing seeds. And those seeds don't disappear. They grow, multiply, and eventually manifest. You'll begin to experience eerily similar situations. The betrayal you inflicted will show up in a friend. The lies you told will be told about you. The abandonment you delivered will be served to you when you need someone the most. This is not about punishment. It's about divine equilibrium. The universe isn't cruel, it's balanced. Especially when it comes to souls walking in divine purpose. The chosen one you hurt wasn't just a regular person. They were a reflection of the divine, sent into your life with light, wisdom, and spiritual protection. You rejected that, and now the universe mirrors that rejection back to you. The confusion they once felt becomes your reality. The tears you caused become your lessons. And while you might not understand the connection at first, over time, clarity will dawn. And you'll see the very emotions you dismissed returning to your doorstep. This is not a curse, it's spiritual accountability. It's the universe reminding you, what you do to sacred souls will be done unto you. 5. Protection turns into opposition. The spiritual realm doesn't just protect chosen ones, it defends them. You may not see it, but there are invisible forces, divine assignments, and sacred energies that surround these individuals. When you approach them with pure intentions, those forces bless you. But when you bring harm, whether through lies, betrayal, envy, or manipulation, those same forces shift their position. They no longer stand silently in the background, they begin to actively work against you. You'll experience this as sudden losses, strange setbacks, unexplainable delays, and relationships that once brought comfort, now turning cold. This isn't random. The divine realm has recalibrated itself in response to your actions. What once silently absorbed the energy you threw their way, now starts repelling you with a force you can't fight with logic or effort. Business ideas that once flowed with creativity now feel dry. Partnerships that once felt promising dissolve. Your energy becomes drained, and no matter how much rest you get, something always feels off. That's because you've made an enemy, not of a person but of a purpose. You stood in the way of a divine mission, and now the divine stands in the way of yours. This isn't to destroy you, it's to correct you. But the longer you resist the lesson, the more intense the resistance becomes. The spiritual shield that once could have covered you through your connection with them is now a sword that challenges you, and it doesn't stop until alignment is restored. 6. You'll be haunted by their energy. Even after they leave, chosen ones have a way of lingering. In spirit, in memory, in soul. Their energy doesn't just exit your life quietly, it remains, echoing through your thoughts, conversations, and dreams. At first, you may mistake this for nostalgia. You'll dismiss it as temporary emotion or fleeting regret. But over time, you'll realize it's something deeper. Their presence remains because your spirit never made peace with the damage caused. The words they spoke still echo when you're alone. The moments you shared replay like a movie when you least expect it. You'll hear songs that feel like personal reminders. You'll see signs that feel like messages. That's not coincidence. It's a spiritual imprint. Chosen ones are unforgettable, not because of charm or ego, but because their soul touched something eternal in you. When you dishonor that kind of energy, it marks you, not with guilt, but with unresolved spiritual residue. It keeps showing up until you face it, until you acknowledge the truth of what was lost and why. You'll realize that no new connection feels as deep, no conversation feels as pure, and the peace you thought you'd gain by walking away never arrives. That's not their punishment, it's your unfinished chapter. Until you reconcile with what you did or failed to protect, their energy will remain, not to torment, but to awaken. Because in hurting them, you didn't just lose a person, you lost a divine presence meant to evolve you. 7. The right ones will be kept from you. The universe is generous, but it is also discerning. It watches how you handle what is sacred before it entrusts you with more. When you mistreat a chosen one, someone who was sent into your life as a divine gift, you unknowingly send a signal to the universe, I'm not ready. As a result, future blessings are delayed, divine partnerships are paused, the love you crave, the support you need, the guidance you seek, all withheld, not out of punishment, but out of protection. Because why would the universe keep sending diamonds to someone who crushes pearls? You may not notice it immediately. In fact, at first, life may feel full of distractions. People who entertain but don't elevate. Pleasures that satisfy but don't fulfill. But over time, a deeper hunger grows. You'll start craving something real, something meaningful. And when you look around, you'll realize those soul-level connections, the kind that nourish your spirit, are nowhere to be found. You had one. You hurt one. And now the spiritual realm is making sure you learn the value of what you once took for granted. It's not about punishment, it's about preparation. Until you truly understand the weight of your actions, until you heal, grow, and take accountability, the people who are aligned with your destiny will remain distant. Because divine timing requires divine maturity, and when you mishandle a chosen one, the universe will make sure you never forget it. 8. Their comeback will humble you. The chosen don't stay down for long. You might see them break, you might hear the silence after the storm you caused, but don't mistake stillness for defeat. They retreat not to hide, but to heal, to recharge, to reconnect with the source that made them who they are. While you may feel victorious in the moment, believing you've silenced their light, the truth is, divine souls don't perish under pressure, they evolve. And when they rise, it is not subtle. It is undeniable. They don't just recover, they radiate. They don't just move on, they level up. And when that elevation comes, it doesn't ask for your permission, nor does it care about your comfort. You'll watch their glow up from the very sidelines you helped place them on. The very person you belittled, manipulated, or abandoned will now speak with authority, walk with confidence, and live with a peace that no longer includes you. Their transformation will expose everything in you that tried to dim them. It will highlight your insecurities, your immaturity, and your failure to honor something divine. Their rise becomes your reckoning. What once made you feel powerful, the control, the gossip, the betrayal, will now feel pitiful in comparison to their triumph. And the most humbling part, you were part of the process that pushed them into their power. The universe used your harm as fuel for their healing. You tried to break them, and they turned it into brilliance. That's not just a comeback, it's a spiritual reminder. Chosen ones are built to rise. Always. 9. You'll have to face divine judgment. There's a difference between karma and divine judgment. Karma is the echo of your actions returning to you. Judgment, however, is the verdict passed down from the higher realms when repeated warnings go unheeded. When you continuously harm, hinder, or dishonor a chosen one, despite signs, inner guilt, or opportunities to make things right, you enter the territory of judgment. This isn't something you can pray away overnight. It isn't something you can outrun with apologies you never mean. Judgment is precise, thorough, and inescapable. It waits until you have no one else to blame, until the distractions are gone, the noise fades, and you're left alone with the full weight of what you've done. The spiritual court intervenes when you ignore divine laws, when you mishandle a person who was sent into your life not for harm, but for help. A chosen one is an extension of divine intention. They were never just a person, they were an assignment, a lesson, a gift. And when you betray that gift, the consequences are measured not by man's standards, but by the universe's. You may begin to lose what matters most: peace, purpose, people. Your plans will be blocked, your blessings rerouted, your path delayed. It won't be punishment, it will be correction. And the worst part? Until you fully face yourself, until you feel genuine remorse, seek healing, and attempt to restore what you've broken, you'll remain in that wilderness. This was never just between you and them. This was always between you and the one who sent them, and he never misses a thing. The chosen ones are not perfect, but they are divinely protected. They carry weight in the spiritual realm. When you harm them, you shift things in the unseen. You ignite battles you cannot win. So be mindful, be respectful, and if you've ever hurt someone who did nothing but love, help, or support you, maybe it's time to reflect and make it right. If you're a chosen one and you've been wondering why certain people face downfall after doing you wrong, this is your confirmation. The universe sees everything. Don't forget to subscribe if this spoke to your soul. This is the Chosen Seer channel. If this message came at the exact time you needed it, type 1111 in the comments to claim divine blessings, restoration, and protection. The chosen never walk alone. Thank you for watching.